Welcome to Highway Equipment and Supply Company. I'm Maya McGlynn, and I'm here to talk with one of our technicians today, Scott, about this Morbark Eager Beaver 1621x. Stay tuned to find out everything that you need to know. We're in drums with our Morbark tech, Scott. Scott, how long have you been working on Morbark?
Basically 17 years, Morbark full-time. Yeah.
That's a long time. So you know a lot about them.
I can get my way through it. Yeah.
What are we looking at today? Tell us a little bit about this.
It's less than a CDL size machine, the 1621x. This is a 15-inch chipper. You're not required to have a CDL license to pull it around. Only weighs about 8,800 pounds. Single axle machine, 145 horsepower PSI. It's a GM 4.3 gasoline engine. Pretty good machines, good equipment, good engines. One thing it has is a automatic, an auto clutch they call it, which doesn't require the owners or the employees to keep as close of an eye on the clutch adjustment as some of the other machines. It adjusts itself. As simple as letting it up, drum comes on. Pretty bulletproof idea. The 1621x, the 15-inch chipper, has a swivel discharge on it here, where we can turn it around here to load your trucks efficiently. Wow. You can load the box clean full, clean to the end, left and right in your truck. And again, you can deflect it up and down for filling up 24-foot boxes. There are several different features for these. One's an over-centered clutch for the higher horsepower machines. They require some more adjustment and maintenance than this machine does. Good option on this machine, good feature, but there are some options that way. Gasoline-powered 4.3 Chevy engine. Good engine. There are some other options that way too. Isuzu's, Ford, and several diesels too, whatever you want. All good options. There's an option for this where you can do hydraulic valve on the back, stand at the back, adjust your swivel that way. Here this is your top feed wheel, your drum area, belts inside here. There's a belt tension adjustment we have to keep an eye on our regular maintenance. Yoke. This machine here, you change your knobs, you pull this pin, open the hood, you do all your life maintenance through the top. This machine is set up with a spring down pressure. It helps your auto feed or your feed works pull the trees in evenly without any kind of downforce. Things can skip. There are some other options for this machine here where you can get a hydraulic down pressure where it keeps an automatic hydraulic down pressure on. Along the same lines with the automatic down pressure, if you want, you can increase for some crushing ability. Nice option to have. This works very good and it's very simple. Machines have LED lights on them the whole way around, 10,000-pound axle. All the grease fittings are very easy to get to. The vast majority are one pump a day. Now we can talk about the infeed here. The infeed here, the only option that you have on this machine, valve-wise, is for picking your yoke up and down. In normal operation, you would not have to use that. It's as simple as you start it up, throw the clutch in, go to full throttle, and throw material in. However, if you got something big, you have to get in there. You can pick up the yoke, get the tree in it, set the yoke back down. Everything is good. This bar here, 4-position feed bar for your feed works. Pull it the whole way out, your feed works stop. In is feed forward. One more notch in is feed stop. The whole way in is feed reverse. Normal way of running it, pull it clean to the rear, push it up one for feed forward. As I said, go to full RPM, throw stuff in. So if you're still chipping and need to do some manual adjustments to it for trees or a big bar or something, you can do it here. Last chance cables, we all know what those are for. If something bad happens, Stops the machine. Very important feature. LED lights. This is the 1621 chipper, which means that opening is 16 inches wide, 21 tall. With that being said, this machine's rated for 15-inch trees. Generally speaking, if it can get in there, it'll grind it, it'll chip it up, but it's made for 15-inch trees. 14-gallon hydraulic oil tank with the filter. Generally speaking, whenever I do an engine service, I replace the fuel filter in the machine, this hydraulic filter here on the side, and the air filters. Behind this, just your chain drive for your top feed roll. No maintenance will be required on that besides greasing your bearings. Most all these bearings are greased once every 8 hours. 27-gallon, this being the gasoline engine, 27-gallon gasoline tank. Most of these tanks are sized appropriate to run at least an 8-hour day. You have a chipper lock pin here. When you're servicing your knives, we talked about opening up to service your knives. Chipper lock pin locks the drum so the drum can't spin when somebody's working on it. Along with having the keys in your pocket, nobody gets cut. We have a manual fuel gauge on this unit here. They have an 8D 1300 cranking amp battery, plenty of battery, good batteries. 2.5-inch pintle hitch on the front. I saw guys, boys run 1-ton trucks very easily. 3/4 ton would probably do it. And a hand jack. You can get an option on the front of these for a hydraulic front jack. There's another option for all these machines. We can put a winch in here to pull trees in. Along with the winch, you can put stabilizer jacks on the back so the machine's very secure.
All right, Scott, so can you tell me a few things that it might be good to consider with maintenance on these? If you're owning one and you're running it regularly, what are some things that people should be keeping up with?
Okay. Two things you really got to watch very closely on these. One is not so much with this clutch. This is a self-adjusting clutch. Some of the other over-center style clutches, when these things are new, things wear in, there's some adjustments that will need to be made in the first week of ownership. This auto clutch, not so much. Another biggie here for everyday thing is keeping your air filters cleaned out. That's a big one. All the dust blowing around the wind the wrong way. You can be into these filters once a day if you have to be. Belt tension is usually not an issue because they're put on a little bit tighter. They wear in to the correct tension. Not so much that, but the really biggie is the bearing maintenance. Twice a year, at least once a year, we have to get inside to repack the bearing grease. Obviously, you have your life maintenance, keeping your knives sharp, keeping material off from under them, keeping the anvil for the knife adjusted. That's probably your biggest parts of your maintenance right there.
Okay, awesome. Mm-hmm. Good things to know.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. So here's the thing. This is obviously a beast of a machine and super dangerous. So what are the safety protocols that are already in place, and like what kind of things can you tell us about or recommend?
Sure. The biggest thing, take your keys out, okay? Don't forget that. Take the keys out, put them in your pocket. As far as using the machine, the reversing bar is a very, very important thing that you want to keep an eye on, know how it works. As I said before, it has 4 positions. It has a stop position, feed forward position, stop position again, feed reverse.
And so the body is always along the side.
Always stay on the side.
Where I am.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
If you're throwing brush in, The same thing, you can be on either side. Don't stand where she's standing at.
So we would be over
This
here.
wheel will be up, correct?
Okay.
The wheel will be up. There's a chance to throw in debris behind it. The safety requirement for OSHA for these is 300 feet behind it. You can't be any closer than 300 feet directly behind it.
Okay.
When you bring a tree in, come from the side, throw it in, and keep on walking.
Okay.
Walk
Okay. So
right
that's a
around.
good safety practice to just completely miss where all the action is happening.
You don't want to look anywhere where the action's happening at.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. If you are working on this, and we're talking about operation of the chipper and safety, this top feed wheel can move up and down. Watch for pinch points underneath the feed wheel on the outside of the machine where people might not be paying attention. When this comes up and comes down, just keep away from the sides.
Okay.
Throw something in, walk down the side, and keep on going.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, Scott. So we mentioned that you have about 17 years background dealing with Morbark specifically and all of these other types of machines, I'm sure.
Yes.
So tell us how you got into heavy equipment work.
Oh boy. Well, I've been doing heavy equipment and trucks for 40 years now.
Wow.
As long as that's hard to believe. 40 years doing this. 17 years ago, I just wanted to try something different. I wanted a little bit of a different change of pace.
Yeah.
Some new challenges. I really did. And job to come up and working on these at a Morbark dealership. And I jumped on board and been doing it ever since.
So
Yeah.
did you just kind of fall in love with it, or was it just something you found you were really good at, so you just kept doing it?
All the above.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like working on them. I always have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like working on the customers, like the nature of the work.
Yeah. So it kept your interest all this time.
Still
you
does.
didn't even jump around
No.
at all.
No.
That's pretty amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I like them.
So you find there's a lot of like different scenarios to the work that you're doing.
You don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you have any scenario that jumps out that maybe somebody who had one of these didn't quite follow what they should be doing, and as a result, you had a major repair or something that was just really an interesting repair?
The biggest one that I see is people not paying attention to what they put in the machine. Instead of being wood, things such as shovels,
Oh, geez.
brakes, metal, causing bad wrecks. Yeah,
So what
bad
happens
damages.
to it then? Like, I can only imagine.
Yeah, obviously that drum's in there spinning about 1,200 RPM. You put in a 30, 40-pound piece of metal, it doesn't like that.
No.
No. And lives break and
Oh,
things such as that.
yeah. So we don't want to throw things in here that are not meant to go in here. Let's not do that.
Yeah, the biggest thing is just watching what you put in for sure.
Yeah. Well, Scott, thank you for meeting with me today to go over the Morbark Eager Beaver 1621. I appreciate you taking the time. I know that you're busy with a lot of other repairs and service maintenance and such. I think we've discussed we might get a little more in-depth with some of these in the future.
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't do something in the future, like on bearing maintenance, mice maintenance, keeping radiators clean, things like that. Maybe bring some of the Rayco stump grinders in, show a video on those.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I might even get my hands a little dirty. We'll have to see. But thank you very much.
Yep.
It was good talking with you.
Thank you.